Some nightmares don't come when you're asleep. They come when you're wide awake, trapped in reality, with nowhere to run. Tonight, I'll share with you 3 real haunting stories that will crawl under your skin and stay there. In a quiet town in Eastern Europe stood a house people avoided. Its windows were broken, its walls cracked, and the air around it seemed unnaturally cold, even in summer. Decades earlier, an entire family vanished inside those walls. No signs of struggle, no blood, just silence. When a group of teenagers dared each other to spend the night there, they thought it was just another ghost story. They carried flashlights, snacks, and even filmed themselves for proof. But what they captured was more horrifying than anything they imagined. Inside the dusty hallway stood an enormous mirror, tall, framed in carved wood. Its glass strangely clean, despite the decay around it. At first, they laughed and took selfies, but then they noticed something wrong. The reflections didn't match. One girl waved her hand, but her reflection didn't move until 2 seconds later. Another boy swore he saw his reflection smile, even though his face was expressionless. As the hours passed, the mirror seemed to breathe. Its glass fogged up like something warm was on the other side. One boy leaned closer and whispered, "Do you hear that?" Everyone froze. From inside the mirror came faint tapping, like fingernails scratching glass. Only 2 teenagers were found asleep in the house by morning. The rest, gone. Police searched every room, every inch of the property. But all they found were handprints on the inside of the mirror's glass, pressed desperately against it, as if trying to escape. Emily was a young woman who had just moved into a small apartment after graduating college. Life was simple. She worked, came home, and spent her nights reading. But after a few weeks, something strange began happening. Every night at exactly 3:15 a.m., she woke up. At first, she thought it was stress, but then she began to feel it. A heavy, suffocating presence in her bedroom. One night she dared to look toward the corner, and there he was, a tall, shadowy figure, motionless, with a smile too wide for any human face. His head tilted unnaturally to one side, as if it was broken. Emily screamed, but the moment she turned on the light, the figure vanished. The nights that followed grew worse. The man appeared closer and closer. Sometimes by her window, sometimes at the foot of her bed. Each time, he smiled wider. Each time she felt weaker, as if something was draining her. She kept a diary, writing about her terror. Her last entry read, "He's standing right over me. I can feel his breath. I can't move. I can't breathe." A week later, her neighbors reported a foul smell from her apartment. When police entered, the door was locked from the inside. The bed was shredded, claw marks everywhere. But Emily was gone. On the wall, scratched deep into the plaster with fingernails, was a chilling message. "I finally let him in." On the edge of a small village was an old graveyard, its tombstones cracked and leaning with age. A construction crew was hired to repair the road that ran alongside it. The job was simple, but at night, workers began hearing strange things, whispers, dozens of voices overlapping, speaking too low to understand. The men laughed it off as wind, but the whispers grew clearer. They claimed the voices were calling their names. One night, a worker named Daniel stayed behind to finish early. His co-workers returned in the morning to find his helmet and flashlight lying beside a half-dug grave. His footprints ended there, but Daniel himself had vanished. The other workers insisted they heard him from underground, begging for help. Terrified, they ran to get the police, but when they returned, the grave was untouched, sealed, as though it had never been disturbed. Daniel's body was never recovered. The project was abandoned, and to this day, villagers say if you stand in that graveyard at night, you'll hear scratching beneath the dirt and a faint voice whispering, "Please, don't leave me here." 3 stories, 3 lives, consumed by forces beyond explanation. A mirror that traps your soul, a figure that waits for you in the dark, and a grave that swallows you whole. Remember this: the scariest part of horror isn't knowing what it is. It's realizing there's nothing you can do when it chooses you. Night, when you turn off your lights, don't forget, some nightmares don't wait for sleep.